Okay, hey guys, so today we're going to go over the dental school application. So I'm going to be going over what's ADIA ADSAS, when can you apply, how you can apply. I'll be going through the whole entire application, as well as I'll give you guys some supplemental information, and then I'll be going over what happens next after you apply. And then Kristen is going to be talking about her own experiences applying. So what is ADIA ADSAS? It stands for American Dental Education Association Associated American Dental School Application Service. Okay, aka ADIA ADSAS. Okay, so with ADSAS, you can apply to any dental school in the country except for the Texas schools. So for Texas, you need to go through the TMD SAS. I don't think anyone from our board applied to dental school in Texas. Did you guys?
No.
No.
They're 99% in-state, so if you're from Texas, you have a really good shot. Nobody here's from Texas? Ooh. Yes! Cool.
So yeah, sorry, we don't have any information on that.
Sorry.
So when can I apply? So before I go through that, I want to put some quotes out there because this presentation always freaked me out when I had to listen to it. So I want to say that the only person who can tell you when you're ready to apply is yourself. And I think everyone on board who applied can say that that's true for the most part. Because you can ask us, when should I apply? Should I take a gap year? Should I go straight into it? You have to listen to yourself. If you want to take a gap year, that's okay. You want to take 2 gap years? Go ahead. Or if you want to just power through it, then props to you. But everyone is different. And as long as you end up to your goal, I think that's what's most important. Quote number 2. You don't have to have a 4.0 or a 30 on the DAT to get into dental school. I don't think any of us have both of them. And we got in. So if we did it, you can do it. Okay, so when can you apply? You can start at the end of your junior year, and you'll be wondering, oh, but I still have 1 more year of school left. The application cycle itself is 14 months long, so you have to apply 1 year in advance. So let's say you still have prereqs left. Like for me, I took both of my physics classes this year. You can still take them, like it's no problem, and you can still apply. And I'll show you guys what happens with classes that you're taking during your senior year. Also, some people do a master's. Like I know some people in DDS are doing their master's right now. And that's okay too. And like I said earlier, a gap year or 2 is totally fine. Okay, so now I'll be going through the application portion. So the application opens June 1st. It has, I think, almost every year. And then after when you apply, you'll be doing supplements. Some schools just need a fee. Some schools require essays, and some schools just want more background information on you. And then once the admissions committee looks at your application, looks at your supplements, then if you're lucky enough, you'll be given an interview. Once you interview, you'll have to either wait until December 1st or later to find out if you got in or not.
The latest you guys can also hear back from is like even the first week of school, dental school starting.
Yeah.
So a lot of like waiting and being patient.
I agree.
You may be taken off the wait list like up until 1 week in school, and maybe you get your dream school, and then you like get out of the school that you originally put your deposit down in, and then you leave an empty spot, which is really mean. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Only apply to schools that you want to go to.
Yeah. So to apply, you have to go on the ADIA ADSAS website, and I have the website link on the next slide, and you press apply now. So you can sign up on ADIA ADSAS before June 1st. So you can create your login, and here's the link for that right here. I don't know if you can see the application beforehand. Can you?
No, it's not going to open.
It's not going to
open. Like, prep it or anything.
Okay. So you can just create your login, I guess, before, but you can't really see the application. And then June 1st is when the application opens. So these are 2 different websites. So to see the application, you would go to this website. And this is how it looks when you want to log in. Oh, by the way, I got an email saying that the application is going to look different this year.
Yeah, I got that too.
So it might not look like this, FYI, but I'm pretty sure it's the same information, right?
Yeah, it's all pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
They're not gonna really take anything away. It's more adding different features and switching up the look.
Okay. So it'll be the same information, just it might look different. So once you make your login, you'll sign in right here and then press submit. Then your application will look like this. So mine says complete for everything because I already turned it in, but when you first log in, everything will say incomplete. Okay, so we're going to go through every section. Does anyone have any questions so far? No? Okay. So this stuff is pretty standard, I think, for any application. Just your address, phone number, email. Not really going to go through that. And then where you live permanently, gender, ethnicity, race. Am I going too fast, or do you guys want to look at it?
Race is optional.
Yeah, I think race and also ethnicity on the bottom is optional.
Anything with like a red star
Yeah, so
has to be completed.
yeah,
Like,
so
see how
with
some
this
stuff are-
burgundy one. Yeah, so it says here, yeah, so this is required, yellow is complete, and then white is incomplete. So it's just pretty standard stuff. Again, just asking like where you're from, if you have any military experience, if you're an international student, if you have more than one name. Okay, now I'm going to be going through the parent and family information. This is also a required portion of the APSAS application. But you see, like, only these two have the red dot next to it. All of this other stuff you don't need to fill out if you don't want to. It's just asking, like, where they live, their living, stuff like that.
A lot of it's just for statistics purposes. They want to gather as much data as they can to see like what kind of people are applying, what kind of demographics.
So this is for parent 1, and this is for parent 2, and then how many siblings you have. And then background information is the next section. Even though this question itself is not required, I would actually recommend filling it out. So it's asking if you do anything that requires manual dexterity. So this is like if you stitch, if you play an instrument, if you paint, arts and crafts, stuff like that. I think the admissions committee would like to see if you're working with your hands. You know, I think Saul, do you agree with that?
Yeah, manual dexterity, anything that's gonna, even if it's not manual dexterity, but any kind of talents or hobbies that you may have, just makes it a little bit more diverse.
Yeah. So that's that, and then it'll ask you if you have any relatives that are in the dental field. So this could be either their dentist, hygienist, assistant, their lab tech, anything like that. You can put their name and where they went to school and stuff. Then it'll also ask you if you ever applied in the application cycle, yes or no, and then it says what schools you applied to, and then if anything has changed since your last application. And then it'll ask if you're applying to any other health profession schools other than dental schools, so don't apply to med school at this point.
They will ask you about it. Like, so why are you applying to dental school if you are also thinking about med school? And then you get that tough question. So
Yeah.
And hopefully you should have made up your mind at that point.
Yeah. Don't apply to both. And then if you've ever had any disruptions in your education, you can write what happened there.
and if you do, you should fill it out. Like, I had a disruption and I filled that out, and they asked me about it during the interview, so it cleared up a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And if you've ever been suspended, expelled, you can write that here. If you ever violated a school rule, you fill that out. And for all of these, they'll ask you to explain. So make sure you explain if you fall under any of these categories.
Question?
Yeah.
What did you say about interruptions?
Yeah, so ask, has your education ever been interrupted or affected adversely for reasons other than deficiencies in conduct or academic performance?
Like if there was a death in your family, or if someone was really sick and you had to leave school for a little bit, or something really bad happened to you and that just like got you messed up mentally. So
Oh, have you ever been charged for or convicted for a felony? You can write that down. Stuff like that. You ever had a professional license that was revoked? You need to explain that. And then you can say, if you're bilingual, for example, you can write down what other languages you speak. And I think actually dental schools would like that. When you're working with patients, like some people don't speak English, for example. So, that would be a great thing to showcase. Yeah.
Can you more than 2 languages, or is it max?
I think max 2.
You can always send email update to the schools if you want to make additional information.
Okay, next we'll be going through the disadvantage status. This isn't required, by the way, so you'll need to fill it out. Oh yeah, but there's some questions in here that are required. So do you want to be considered a disadvantaged student? So this could be either social, economic, or educational. So I think BSP people can say what their thing is here. And then you can say if you ever got a Pell Grant during your undergrad, you can say yes or no. And it'll ask you where you lived up to age 18. So you can fill that out here. And it'll just ask you about where you live and some questions about that. It's just pretty standard stuff. And then it'll ask you how much, what percentage of your undergrad was paid by your parents through loans, scholarships. Again, it's not required, so you don't need to fill it out. But if you feel that it would be beneficial for the admissions committee to know, then you can go ahead and fill it out.
Make sure the total, if you do fill that out, has to be 100%.
Yeah.
So that is
Okay, so now we'll be getting into the nitty-gritty stuff. So next section is your high school information. So they won't ask you about your GPA and stuff. So let's say you're bad in high school, you don't need to worry about that. They'll just ask you where you went, the city, county, state, country, and when you graduated. And then next we'll ask you about what colleges you went to. So here you can fill out what the colleges were, and then here is what degrees you got. So if you click on this blue dot here, it'll take you to this page. And you can find your college. So we all go to USC, and you need to fill that out. And then is this the primary college or university you attended? So if it's more than half of your time in undergrad, you fill out yes. And then is this where you're going to be getting your degree? Yes. Then you fill out the month and year of when you attended.
if you took any community college classes over the summer, that counts too. So be sure to get literally every single class that you took during your college experience. If it was at a different institution, get the transcript for that and send it to ANSAS.
Guys, if you also took college credit in high school, I know Beverly High School, they offer West LA classes. I'll be honest, some people admissions committees from different schools are like, hey, you're being unethical, you're not mentioning this, and you're like, oh shoot, I took it in high school, but it still counts for college credit, so make sure to add that as well. Because that can also stop your submission, early submission, and push you back longer. So that's very important.
I forgot 2 transcripts, one after the other, that pushed me back 8 weeks. So really bad. Yeah.
For AP credits, do you know if USC puts that in your STARS report? Do we need to send them that also?
I didn't send AP.
STARS report? Okay.
I didn't send APs either, but then it showed up when they did the grade GPA calculation. I forgot to put it in, but I think you can put it in your APs if you want.
And
Or
so
it'll
if we
just
took
show
a
up.
classic over the summer, we should have that ready
Have everything ready before you submit
June 1st.
this,
Oh,
or
if we were
yeah,
to June
everything
1st.
ready before June 1st.
So you can't send transcripts to individual schools. You have to do it through AdSAS, and the way to do that is that you press this yellow button, and then this form will pop up. So say your institution, first, middle, last name. This is all filled out already automatically, and it'll just say like, when did you go to this school? Does it include your fall 2016 grades? And the reason why they ask that is because after you send in your application, 6 months later, you have to send an academic update that says that has your grades from fall. So if you think that you're off the hook once when you apply, you need to worry about your grades anymore, you're wrong. And then you fill this out and then you attach it as a PDF to USC Parchment, which is through Oasis, and that's how you order your transcript. So make sure to attach this form, otherwise your application will be delayed. Yeah.
So you can't order your transcripts until June 1st?
I think I did mine after, but I also rushed mine, so.
Can you submit the application when the transcript hasn't sent yet? And they'll get everything to that, you know?
Can I recommend something? Just do it the week before, like June 1st.
But how
And
do you
then
do
they'll
that?
give you
How do you get it?
So you get this form when it opens. The June 1st opens, and then you get this form, and then you request the transcripts.
Okay, got it.
So do it as soon as, you're right. Do it as soon as this opens.
It takes 3 weeks for the app to be sent out anyway, so you have time for the transcript to come in with the application.
Yeah. I rushed my transcripts just in case. I mean, it could cost, I think, about $20 more, but better late than never.
Can I add something about APs, since
Yeah.
you guys are talking about it? At least for us in particular, if you want to get credit for AP scores, the undergraduate institution has to reflect it on their transcript. So you guys would have had to submit that to the university, got credit, and it has to say on your transcript where you got credit for, what specific course and title. And if it doesn't say it, and it just says like credit for biology, 8 units or credits or whatever, then you'll need the department to actually write the letter and send it in also. So that's it.
That's good to know. Okay, and then, so now we're gonna go through the college degrees. So again, you have to fill out for every school that you went to. So I went to 2 different schools. So I'll click on that blue button right there. So I'll ask you the name of the college, the state it was in, from what dates you attended, the degree you got. So this is BA, BS, if you're a master's student, MS. And then degree status. So mine, like I didn't graduate yet, so I think mine says expected or something like that. And then, so since I'm expected, I write down my graduation month and date. And then I chose my major. If it's not in this drop-down list, then you can write it down here. If you had a second major, then you can go ahead and write that. Otherwise, you just leave it blank. And if you got a dental certificate, it'll be yeah.
What if you have more than 2 schools?
Yeah. You can add as many as you want.
Yeah, I think that was that. Does anyone have any questions?
Is there room to put a minor?
I don't
No.
think
No.
so.
I had a minor too. It's just talk about it in your interview. That's what I did.
You need to
Actually, I put mine right there.
Yeah,
My
that's
Okay.
second major, and I wrote minor in parentheses.
Okay, next we'll be talking about coursework. So this is your grades. So up here in this navy blue part will be the school, and then it'll go term by term, so every semester that you've done at that school. So like for me, I went to 2 different schools. There was 2 sections, one for each school. I couldn't really click on like where you fill it out. So the things that they'll ask you is the course name. So this is going to be exactly how it appears on your transcript. Caps, no caps. Put that in there. The subject it was in. So when you're filling out your grades, there's a PDF that you can download on AdSAS that'll put like every single class in one category. So like, for example, a lot of us took this Gero class that was neurobiology for aging. Since it's neurobiology, it goes under bio, even though it's under the general department. So make sure you look at that PDF attachment. Because you want as many classes as you can going into your science group. So they'll ask for your grade in the class, pluses and minuses are included. I don't think there's a difference between your grade and your ATSAS grade.
I think they take out the pluses and minuses.
I don't remember.
So after you send in your transcripts, it takes 4 weeks for them, 3 to 4 weeks for them to verify your GPA. In which case you should send it early, and then you'll see that this part will be more complete with the ASAS grade filled out. So they'll assign you their version of your grade without the pluses and minuses, and they'll give you a new GPA, which is easier to like compare between people from different schools.
When you say get rid of the plus and minus, so if you have a minus in a class, does that mean your GPA actually goes up higher, or does it go down?
No, you should fill out the pluses and minuses. But
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not about them. Like, let's say you get a B minus,
they
is
do
it
a
a B?
GPA calculation with your plus and minuses and then without. So they like overanalyze your GPA.
I guess I have both columns there too, just to be thorough.
Yeah, so, and then this is how many units the class was, and then classification, if it was an honors class, for example, you specify that it's honors. Yeah, and so, like, I applied like junior year, and so I'm still taking courses, and I still am right now. So there'd be 2 sections for this, there's only one now, because I sent in my academic update. So this will be the courses that I took this semester. But for you guys, if you're planning on studying until the end of your senior year, there will be 2-term information. So like this, for me, this is fall 2016, and then there'll be another one fall or spring 2017. So I'll ask for the name of the course, the subject, how many credits it was, and then again honors or not honors.
I have a question. Oh, do you classify where you're taking it to, or is it just the course?
So this, because there's one navy blue bar, that's because I'm only taking classes at USC right now, but like up here, oh I didn't put it. But there would be 2 navy blue bars, just like one on the top is like my SMC stuff, and then on the bottom would be USC. Yeah.
What if you're taking like a GE passing pass?
You can put that in.
Yeah, you can put
Oh, they do? Okay.
Oh.
Go.
For planned courses for the spring, if you say you're going to take one in the spring and then say like the school you get into doesn't require it or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did, and I took off one of my courses.
After you got it.
Yeah.
You can take it.
So it can change, like your plan.
Even though you said you were going to, you
Wait,
could
is
not
it
take it.
As long as it's not a requirement
Okay.
for the
Okay.
dental
Yeah.
school.
Like I called my school that I got into, and I asked them like, hey, is it okay if I don't take this course? And so yeah, make sure with your school that you're going to.
The spring courses, like I didn't know what I was going to take, so I didn't fill in the spring courses when I first did my application. Those don't get locked in until you do your, I think it's the academic update. So yeah, after that, you're kind of locked into whatever classes you're taking. So you have a lot of time to kind of figure out your schedule and what you need to take and what not to do.
December. I'll be going to. So it's from. Is it December through February or November through February?
I think it's November, but some schools are out a little bit earlier.
Oh, it ends in February. That's what I was gonna ask.
I think it ends in February. Yeah. Any other questions? So what is the academic update? Keep talking about it. So this is courses that you take after you apply, and this is going to be your fall courses. So like I reported all my fall grades that I took. Like let's say you say like, oh, I'm going to take this class in the fall, and then like let's say you end up dropping it, then you have to reflect that in your ASAS application. But don't delete the course on here if you got a W, because it'll still show up on your transcript. So you have to write W. It is from December through February, I think, like somewhere around there. And I don't, well, it wouldn't matter when you do it. Well, you should do it as soon as you get your fall grades. Obviously, you can't do it before, so just do it as soon as you get your fall grades. And it is mandatory. Any questions? Okay, and then DAT scores. So you'll see it's gonna ask you for your breakdown of your scores, and the reason for that being is because when you first sign up for your login on AdSAS, it'll ask you for your DENT PIN, and so that's the number that you get when you apply for your DAT. It'll automatically link what you got on the DAT onto your AdSAS application. Why are you so scared? So you don't need to worry about entering your grade. But you should write down like what day or what month and year you're taking it. If you're taking it again, state what month and year you applied. Okay, so next section is professional experience. So there's 4 sections. So this is the first section of that. So this is going to be your awards, honors, and scholarships. So for DDS, if you get a member of the month, you can put that here. At the end, if you are considered an active member, we're going to be giving you guys certificates, and you can enter that in here. And then, so I'll ask you for the name of the award, the sponsoring organization. So like for your member of the month, that's going to be, I'll go through it in a second. So I'll ask you all this stuff, but then over here, you'll see that it says flag for PDF cover sheet. So for each of the 4 sections, you can flag 3 of your how many awards you have. So I would definitely recommend doing this just because when dental schools look at your application, they're gonna download it as a PDF, so they're not gonna look at it as if it's how it is here. And like some dental schools look at through your whole entire application, but there are some that just will look at that cover sheet. So you want to make sure you have something there in case they don't have time or whatever to look at your application.
And the cover sheet is basically like a gist of your entire application. So the professional experience it has awards and like research experience, if you shadowed, what other extracurriculars you're into. And if you flag 3 things for every one of those categories, they will all show up on your cover sheet. So try to make sure that you have like at least one thing for all of those things to write about. And if you have if you have like 4, pick the 3 that are most important to you, because that's the first thing that they will see.
So for this section, like I said, they're going to ask you for the name of the awards, the organization, and what month and year you received the award. And like, let's say you get 2 of the same awards, still list them as 2 separate things. How many? Do you remember how many you can put max here? I think it's 5.
Can I mention something? Yeah. So if let's say we're on Dean's Honors list, I actually, because I wanted to add more different, because I got different awards or whatever, I actually put the months, like month and year, because I had it as my last 4 semesters or whatever, and I'm like, okay, from 2014 to 2016, from like fall to like spring, I was Dean's Honors list, so I actually combined them. So sometimes, like, if you wanna, I did that for Dean's Honors list. I don't know.
How did you do that though?
I put it in parentheses.
Oh, like up here?
Yeah, with the name.
So that's a good option. If you want to
show
showcase
more.
different awards that you got, then combine them all in one. Okay, then the next section is going to be your shadowing experience. So again, you can have up to 3 things flagged for your coverage. So it's going to ask for the name of your supervisor, so the doctor that you're shadowing, your position title, I think, right? Your position title. And then the type of dentistry observed, so this can be general dentistry, perio, ortho, endo,